Hello, a very good morning to you all on this very overcast, drizzly autumnal day. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to be making some lovely double layered necklaces. I've named them Bonnie, which means fair and beautiful. So in Scotland it's used as an adjective to describe just that. They are really pretty. They have these lovely flower pendants with them, which I'm using as a focal. I'm going to be using lovely coloured pearls, two sizes of those glass pearls. I've got little floral spacers, have a little pinch veil as well, which we don't often get to use, and a magnetic double strand clasp. These clasps are brilliant if you want to layer up your jewellery. And you don't necessarily want to have them not only tangled up, but you just want them to sit right, then these magnetic clasps are brilliant. I'll show you a little tip with these as well. So if you have chain jewellery like this and you're wanting to again layer up your chains, then I'll show you how you can use them for them. Always great to have in your stash. So I'll say a very quick good morning to you all, and I'll take you over to the website. We've got a lovely offer on for you today, and then I'll show you these gorgeous necklaces that we're going to be making. Really straight, easy stringing, really pretty and fun to do. I'm going to be demoing with the green ones, I think, today. And they remind me of little clovers, like little lucky clovers. So if you are wanting to gift or have a piece of jewellery, I know we're nowhere near St. Patrick's Day, but I think they'd be perfect for that as well. Lots of lovely colours, lots of lovely beads. So good morning to Carol. Good morning to Fairness Born. How are you doing? Good morning to Just Me. Hello to Anastasia. We've got Camille in as well. She says, good morning, Natalie. Looks a bit grey here. How are you? And young Frank. Frank is still off school. Would you believe he's been really poorly. He's had the highest temperature, managed to get him down to like 39.1, and his temperature's down now, but he's got a bit of a cough and he's just not feeling out of sorts. My little one loves food. He loves eating breakfast and he's got not much of an appetite at all. So he's okay. Hopefully he'll be a little bit better tomorrow. I'm feeling I haven't got time. So I haven't got time for sickness. So I'm a little bit, but I'm okay. Thanks for asking. How are you? Sheila's in saying good morning as well. Right, let's head over to the Totally Beads website. We are, of course, totallybeads.co.uk. And if you head over to the site, you'll be able to see all our lovely, lovely makes. Head into video tutorials, whichever one you fancy. We've got them on the main menu, which is the way I usually get in because it's quickest. And you can see all our gorgeous makes that we've been working on recently, but there are hundreds I think of makes on there. So this is the Bonnie necklace. You can see it looking pretty in pink there. So we have 4 gorgeous colours for you today. They're all £7.99, one necklace up in your kit, but if you would like to get 2, you can get 2 for £13, and you can get the same colour, so you get 2 of the amber, or you can mix and match if you wanted 1 of the amber, 1 of the green, maybe 1 of the pink, 1 of the cyan, can never quite pronounce that, you know this. But you can see they are attached by one clasp, but one sits higher up. We have like a central row of pretty beads, and then that lower one with that gorgeous dangling pendant. So we've got 2 for £13 as well if you wanted to get those. We do, of course, ship worldwide, so if you want to change your currency, you can do that at the top of the page and find all the shipping information on our website as well. So this one is our Bonnie coloured necklace, is amber. So we've got this beautiful amber flower drop. All of your findings are going to be gold. So gold jump rings, gold spacers, gold little pinch veil. Just thought they all looked beautiful on gold. So have a little look what's in your kit. You've got a pinch veil included there, which is 15 by 5 millimeters, and I'll show you how to use them. They're great little components, really easy if you've got a bead that is drilled from front to back. then these are great. You can get peg bails as well if you need to attach and the bead's got a drill hole from top to bottom, like running all the way through it, or if it's half drilled so it's just got a bit at the top. This is a pinch bail, so it pinches across whatever bead you're using. In my case, it's these beautiful flowers. This is your magnetic clasp here. You've got 2 strands available to attach onto those, so those 2 little loops, and they're really easy to put on and take off. We've got lovely little antique gold flower spacers, and we've also got the beads to match this amber colourway in golden haze. So I'm using 4mm and I'm using 6mm beads in dark gold. So a combination of 2 gorgeous colours. You're going to get 2 colours of pearls in each kit. For this colourway, I've put the amber flower, so it's a beautiful, it's exactly that. It's got this kind of auburn orange gorgeous glow to it, very autumnal, very, very pretty, and they're 26mm in size. So that's all the products that you're going to get in this kit. You're going to get your pearls, which will be in 2 different sizes and 2 different colours. I'm using the glass pendant spacer, little flowers, your pinch bail, you've got your magnetic clasp, your jump rings, your culotte, your crimps, and your tiger tail. Every single thing you need to make this necklace is included for £7.99. We have this lovely cyan coloured one, so a beautiful big blue flower, 8 petals on this, really, really gorgeous. They're kind of like clear glass, really. They're just really, really lovely. You've got your pinch bails in there, and the colours I've put together are the pure white and the denim blue beads in this colourway. So again, everything you need to make one very pretty necklace. I'm going to take off those spaces on the outside, those little flowers, just on that last row. I want those pearls to be pushed together. But this is how I've designed the necklaces, just alternating between the sizes of beads and adding that pop of colour into the centre to match the pendant. So we're going to be making 2 strands using the lovely tiger tail, and then just adding on those lovely beads. So you can change the pattern if you want to. You can change how it looks. I like having the colour in the centre. This is the gorgeous green one, which I'm going to be demoing today. That gorgeous green flower almost looks kind of emerald green. It's really pretty. I'm using the olive and the forest green beads with that in the 4 and the 6. And again, all your other findings and components are the same. The only thing that changes colour is your beads, not your spacers, and the colour of that flower. And then lastly, we've got the bonnie flowers in pink as well. Really, really pretty, very feminine, I think, this make. We've got the watermelon pink coloured glass pearls in 6 and a lemon chiffon. Just wanted to have a little bit of contrast. And then we've got that lovely pink flower. It's looking quite lilac there on my screen, but I will, of course, show you those down on the mat. So there are bonnie necklaces today. Have a little look over the website, £7.99. or 2 for £13. Let me know your favourite. Have you used pinch bails before? Is that something that you've used? Do you like a magnetic clasp? I won't come all the way out of it. I'll just hover there just in case we go back in a little bit later. So that's us with totallybeads.co.uk, and that's where you can get your hands on these lovely products today. So let me head back in and say a quick hello to anybody who's just joined us. Oh, good to hear you're well. Thank you, Camille. Good morning to Diamond Ring. How are you doing? She says, good morning, Natalie, from a bright Sudbury. Sorry I missed you Monday. That's okay. What did we do Monday? Was it the necklaces? Yeah, I think we're using little connectors. You should see what we've got coming up next week. I know I'm jumping the gun a bit, but I've got some really lovely earrings and some gorgeous bracelets, which are really different. I'll show you those at the end. Good morning to Heather. Hello to Anastasia, says, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling well today. Oh, he's not feeling well. Talking about my Frank. He's been like this now for, well, he got sent home early on Friday. What are we on today? Wednesday. It's like never ending. And then, of course, everybody else is feeling like they're catching it, but I'm not getting it. I haven't got time. Good morning to Anne. She says a bit cloudy and dull in Yorkshire today. Good morning to Mina. She says I'm in the office today, so it'll be quiet. Hi, Mina. Hope you're having a nice day in work. I hope it's going well and you're winding down. Good morning to Joanne. She says good morning from an overcast Coventry. It looks like we've got rain on the way. Yeah, definitely. Possibly snow as well, looking at the sky. Thank you very much, Joanne. She says, beautiful necklace, looks regal. Diamond ring says, gorgeous design. Good morning to Julie. How are you doing? Heather's loving the green. Good morning to Yolanda. Hello to Lynn, who's all the way in New York. Thank you so much for joining me today. Julie, thank you. She says, lovely necklace. I've bought them all. Sheila says they're very pretty. Heather's liking the blue cyan as well. And perfectly paired. Hello. She says, I got in on time. Love this, Natalie from Sweden. Thank you so much for joining me wherever you're watching from. It's always a pleasure to have your company. Heather says she's got a bit of a cold. Didn't help that she was swimming. Camille says too early for snow, isn't it? I don't know. I'm looking forward to winter, but let's just embrace autumn for now. Right, I'll take you down onto the mat and I'll show you the necklaces. They're really, really pretty. I'm hoping we don't have the technical difficulties that we did on Monday. She says painstakingly trying to swap the screen over. Come on. Oh, it's there. It's not. It's there. Is it on for you? It's not on for me. There you go. So this is our Bonnie necklace. So obviously when they're worn, you can see that they sit with this layer on the inside. And these beautiful flowers, let's move them out the way so you can see them in their glory. So they will sit. I will be putting a different amount on the inner row to the outer row. So they just sit perfectly around the neckline. And then you have these lovely beads. There's a slight little gap. You can make so this sits directly on top if you prefer. And then we've got this beautiful, if I hold it up, you can see it has got a transparency to it. Gorgeous, gorgeous green colour. Joanne says they are gorgeous. Fabulous. Thank you so much. Right, so that is the gorgeous green one. We have this very pretty blue colour. There's such a delay on my camera. So I've used these denim coloured beads, which are the larger. I've got these pure white in the smaller, so 4 and 6, using these gorgeous little flower spaces in between, and then these gorgeous pendants hung on the peg bail there. So that one is the white colourway. I'll just place that down. Should have put my bust up so you can keep them nice rather than laying them on the floor. This one is the gold, so they don't twist because of those magnetic clasps. So you can see this is the auburn colour that we've got here. Really pretty. Again, I'll hold it up to the light because these necklaces are all about these gorgeous flowers. So you've got those beautiful petals, and it's the same either side. You've got a lovely kind of domed, almost kind of diamond princess cut almost on them. So they are faceted and they're going to catch the light just beautifully, but it doesn't matter which side you choose to put them on. And then we have this gorgeous pink one as well. So this is with the lemon chiffon. And they just sit really pretty. And you can see it's very much pink, but you can see that translucency through it. Yolanda, you can come and get a job with me. See, I'm the luckiest person in the world. If I want everything, I get to make them all. I don't keep them. They do go back to the warehouse, all the samples that I make. But I get the joy of making them and designing them and putting all the kits together. And I get to do that as my job. So I am extremely lucky. Camille says, love the colours. Perfectly paired says, ooh, the pink. Now, These magnetic clasps are absolutely perfect. I would always have these in my stash. If you like to layer up your jewellery, all you need to do, in fact, I'm going to take my necklace off so I can show you. If I want to wear two necklaces, when I have two chains on, I love layered jewellery, but they just tangle up all the time around the neckline. What you can do, this one's got an extender chain on, but what you can do is you can attach a little jump ring to the end of your chain, and you can attach a jump ring to the clasp on your chain, and you can attach your jump rings then to the magnetic clasp, and then do the same on the other side. That's going to stop your chains from tangling. And if you're making this necklace or any necklace with kind of two strands to it, then it's going to keep them where they need to. This one or the one at the bottom, whichever way round that you've got, I do tend to put them on that way round, will hang in one position, and then your other one will hang around the top, and obviously around the neckline it sits like that. So that's a really clever way if you want to layer up your jewellery. To get them off and on couldn't be any more simple. You just slide it out. So you've got this lovely groove along the side of the magnetic clasp, and then it just slips in and it's held tight by that magnet. Take it off, slide it out, pop it in. I'm barely even popping it in, the magnet's so strong, I'm just leaning it kind of against each other, and it just clips into place. So magnetic clasps, I think, are always great. How I start this necklace is I start to make my pendant. So you'll see on this beautiful flower, I've got this lovely petaled cut design. Oh wow, Anastasia said I placed an order last week to Totally Beads and it came yesterday. It went to the mailbox and it was there, and I was so glad she got it and not her husband. Tell them what you've saved. So instead of saying what you've spent, just say, I've saved this amount, because we discount our kits very frequently. Simon always puts a good offer on. We've got that 2 buy 2 for a discount as well today. So you've got this lovely, lovely flower and these little pinch bails. Now the pinch bails have got a lovely little kind of detail on the front and the back of them as well. So it doesn't matter which way round that you use these. Sometimes they'll have like a little stamp on, but there's no front or back with these. They're the same either side. So you'll see there's like 2 little prongs which look like teeth. What I do is I just take my pliers and very gently I slip my pliers in and then open them out. So just a little press, and that's going to open out my prongs. I'm then going to slide my prongs in. You might need to open it a little bit more. So just push in the handles and that will prise them open. Do it a little bit by little bit until you've got the size. And what I'm doing is I'm just lining it up, and I want to get one of the prongs into the little drill holes. So that should be enough. It's quite wide there. So you can see there's a drill hole at the top which runs from the front to the back. So I'm just going to slide it in. There you go. And once I've got one lined up, I can just line up the other. Now I've opened this probably too wide, but I'm just going to push it down in with my thumb, line up the top bit and pinch it closed. That's why it's called a pinch bail, because you just need to pinch it. So pinching on the front and the back. I'm not using my tools. You can do if you want. That's just going to get those little kind of teeth almost. If you are using your tools to close, just be very careful. You just want to put the pressure onto the pinch bail and not onto the flower itself. So there you go, just pinching them in, and then now that's locked in place. You've got that little kind of bail at the top, and that will help thread it through. It's as easy as that. So I'm going to cut my tiger tail. I'm going to go for about 50 centimetres there or thereabouts, so about 20 inches if you work on that. And I'm going to do the bottom row first. So I'm going to take my tiger tail and I'm just going to slide it through to the middle. If you bring the 2 ends of your tiger tail up, then that's going to find the centre. Just make sure that it's going through that little bail at the top. I've got my bail a little bit twisted there. So it's just going to slide on through. And then all I'm going to do is start stringing. So I'm going to work from my centre outwards. I think it just lines everything up a little bit better and I get that symmetry. So I'm going to start with my larger pearls, which are my 6mm. And I'm going to start threading on to the bottom row. So I'm going to alternate with my flower spacers and I'm going to alternate with my 2 sizes of beads. So in total, I'm going to use, I think for the pearls, I think I'm going to use 10 of the 6mm pearls in the bottom row, and that will be 16 flower spacers for this bottom. So I'll just get them out ready. If you want to use a bead stopper, you can do, but I tend to work from both sides at the same time, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to pour some of my beads out and my lovely little flower stoppers. I'll show you these flower spacers. I'll show you those as well. Really, really pretty, gorgeous colour. Got that lovely antiqued finish on it. And again, just kind of echoing the floral motifs that we've got in this. So I'm going to start with my larger pearls, my 6mm, and I'm going to put those on either side. And each time I pop a bead on, I'm going to pop a flower spacer on as well. And then I'm just going to alternate between the 4mm and the 6. So let me open that strand up. Let's put this in the centre so you can see what I'm doing. I'm working a little bit higher up the table today, and I've also got my chair a bit lower down. I'm not quite sure why. So just going to alternate between, and you can change up the design if you want. So each time I put a bead, I'm going to put a floral spacer, and then I'm just going to go larger bead, flower spacer, smaller bead, floral spacer, and so on and so forth. So in total, I'm going to be using the 6mm pearls. I'm going to have 10 of those just on this bottom row. You just want to make sure it's even, so you can work off one side and then the other if you wish to. Or you just make sure, however many you've got on one side, you pop on the other so you've got that symmetry. So 4mm bead and a flower spacer and a 6mm bead and the spacer. So let's see how many we've got. 1, 2, 3. Dropping my beads off the table. So just threading the beads on. As I say, you can play around with patterns. I just tend to make the bottom one a little bit longer, but I tend to change up the pattern with this when it comes to stringing on the beads that run around the neckline. So for the bottom row, I tend to use 45 of the 4mm pearls, and then on the top row I'll use 43, so it's a little bit smaller. So let's see how many I've got there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on one side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So when I thread these all together, those two 6mm pearls are going to push up against that lovely pinch bail and just sit in the middle like so. Now all I'm going to do is start stringing on my smaller beads. So my 4mm. This at this point, you can, if you want to, just add a little bead stopper onto one side, because I'm going to string on 45 pearls onto one side and then onto the other. So I did count and almost cut through my thread. There you go. To save me counting, but I'm going to be counting now. So what you can do is, if you want a quick way of threading on, take the strand that the beads are on already and just line up your tiger tail and push the tiger tail through, and you can just transfer them there. So move the thread out the way and just line up the tiger tail, and you should be able to, rather than just picking them up one by one, transfer them over. So I tend to bend it round the back of my finger to keep that thread out the way, push my tiger tail through, and then it's just lining up with the drill hole that's already threaded onto the beads. I think that's 40, but I want 45, so I'll just recount. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 20. 2, 4, 6, 8 is... Oh. Sorry. Let's try again. That's 10. Yeah, 45. Now what I can do once I've thread on my beads, this is going to be my bottom row. I'm of course going to do this side as well, but rather than use the bead stopper, I'm going to add my crimp and culotte on now, and then I can work off the other end. Camille counting along with me. You probably counting along with me then and thinking she's messed up. But you know what? As long as they're even on both sides. But I do want this one longer. So I'm 45 on each side of the bottom row. And it's going to be 43 on the other row. Don't worry, I've pre-strung the other row, so you don't need to watch. Don't need to watch me counting. It's a really, really straightforward make, but even I will miscount at times. That's all I do, make, is just spend most of the time counting. If you've got any questions or if you want to mock me, do as Camille does, pop it in the comments. I'm quite thick-skinned. Wisest is she who knows she does not know, is my favourite quote and has been from on. It's going to go out where loops are going to be facing up. There's a big delay with my camera at the moment. And then going to thread on the 2 crimp beads. I'm then going to take my chain nose pliers or my flat nose pliers or tweezer nose pliers, and I'm going to bring up that crimp right to the end of the tiger tail, so don't need to cut it off, and I'm going to flatten it. I'm not crimping my crimp beads properly with a crimping plier. You can absolutely do that if you want, but I don't need to, because what happens, I'm sliding the next one up close to it and I'm flattening that as well. What happens is that's holding onto the tiger tail just as it would be if I was using the crimping plier, but the culotte is going to come up and cover those 2 crimp beads. So if I was using crimps without this culotte, I'd want to fold them properly, and then I'd want to put like a crimp cover over them, like a bead, to make it look like a bead. This is perfect. It works like a clamshell does. You've got those 2 little rounded dome bits which fit perfectly around our crimps that we include in the kit, which works perfectly with the tiger tail that we include in the kit. And by just folding it over and pressing it down, we create this very professional finish. It hides our ugly crimp beads. And then you've got those 2 little loops which you can then attach your jump ring and your clasp onto afterwards, which also makes your clasp changeable. So if I was to make this necklace, or any necklace, and someone, maybe I was selling my jewellery, said, I don't want a magnetic clasp, I want a different magnetic clasp, or I want a lobster claw, or I prefer to have like the rounded, I can't think of the name of them. You can just open up the jump ring and swap your clasp onto something else. So they're just brilliant. I love them. If I'm ever making strong tiger tail jewellery, I always want to use my culotte. I'm now just pushing all those beads up, and that's acting as my little stopper. And then all I need to do is add 45 of my 4mm pearls onto the other side, so it's even and balanced. And my pendant will be pushed against those lovely beads and will sit nicely in the middle. So I've got an itchy nose, I do apologise. Let's get the strand out and let's count my beads. You're going to count with me, Camille? Hello, Tracy from a sunny Lanzarote. Oh, you lucky lady in the sunshine. Oh, I'd love to come and visit you. If you ever want to do a live from Tracy's house, then just inviting myself. Thank you so much for joining me. 2, 4. Let's do it this way. 6, 8. Oh. So rather than picking them up one by one, I find this easier to do. I will count them because if I'm talking, I lose track. So I'll count them again at the end. So just pushing up with my finger. Sometimes a little bit of the colour can be over the drill hole, so give it a little wiggle. kink in my tiger tail there, so I'm just going to run it back out with my fingers to straighten it up. Pick up off the table. So I want 45 on this side as well. Got a hair, don't need that. Let's have a little count. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30. 2, 4, 6, 8 is 40. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to add the same. So I'm going to take my culotte and I'm going to slide my culotte on. Again, I want it facing up and out. I'm now just going to put on 1 crimp bead. I always put 2 on because I'm going to double it up and make it extra strong. But for now, I'm just going to put 1 crimp bead on so I can flatten that out first. I'm going to start to curve my necklace. I know you can't quite see it because if I move the camera that way, does that help? Yeah. So I'm going to curve my necklace into my necklace shape. I'm pushing down so there's no gaps between my beads. I've got a nice tension. And then as I'm coming in to crimp that crimp bead, I'm just flattening it out and kind of pushing down against the crimp so it's nice and secure against the beads. That will hold, but just to make sure, I'm going to add that extra on. I want that crimp bead to then sit on top of the other one, and I'm going to flatten that in the same direction. Once it's nice and flat, that culotte is super secure. I can then come in with my cutters and trim off any excess tiger tail. I'm not cutting the culotte, I'm not cutting the crimp bead, just any remaining tiger tail. So I've gone for about 20 inches of the tiger tail. 55 centimeters at most, but I would say 50 should do you. That should be in your kit. And then closing it over with my fingers, and then again just to extra close to make them nice and shaped, and I want those 2 loops to line up together. And then I have my bottom section of my necklace. Don't know why this bail keeps twisting. I see. So the loop is a little bit tilted on this one, but yours will fit lovely. So those 2 beads are just going to push up against that bail. I'm going to do the same on the inside, but of course without the pendant. So rather than remake it and you watch me counting the beads, I will talk you through how I've designed this inner strand. So I will take this one off and show you how this one's made. So my bottom strand that you can see there that I've just made will have the pendant with the pinch veil on in the center. I'm going to then line up and string on my alternating beads. So starting with the 6mm pearls first, I'm going to have 10 of those on in total, and I'm going to be alternating with the flower spaces. So there'll be 16 flower spaces on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Perfect. And then we're going to put 45 pearls around on each side. They're the 4mm pearls. For my inner row, I'm going to make, starting from the center again, only this time I'm going to start with the 4mm pearl in the center, and I'm going to alternate again with the flower spaces and the 6mm pearls. So this section's going to include 8 of my 6mm pearls instead of the 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I'm going to have 14 flower spaces. I have added extra one on this strand. Don't include these two at the end. We want those matching, but for my sample, I have done it that way. So it's going to be 8 of the pearls and 14 of the flower spaces. That will then make this one a little bit smaller, because this one is going to have 43 pearls running up each side instead of 45 that we've got on the outside one. Now all I need to do is place them together. So I'm putting my inner strand on the inner one, and I'm going to get my magnetic clasp. The inner strand is going to sit at this point on the clasp, and then my bottom strand is going to sit on those top 2 loops. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my lovely little jump rings out. These are 5x1 jump rings, so a little bit smaller than my 6x1s. They're my outer diameter. Of course, if you wanted one necklace, you could buy this kit and you could just make them like this and change your clasp if you wanted to. That would be a very pretty necklace on its own. So I'm just going to open up my jump ring by giving it a little twist. So I twist it to align it first and then give it a little turn towards me. I'm taking that inner strand on one side, and I'm just going to put it through the holes in the culotte that we've lined up nicely, and my bottom loop on one side of the magnetic clasp, and then give it a little twist away from me to close. They do want to attach to each other, and they want to attach to your tools, these magnetic clasps. So I haven't closed that properly, and that's going to make my jump ring not as secure as it needs to be. So I'm coming back in and making sure that's nice and closed. And I'm doing the same on the other side. So I'm going to give it a little twist towards me. I'm going to thread on through the bottom part of the magnetic clasp and add on the other culotte from the opposite side of that inner strand, and then a little twist. Oh, if it clicks, it's perfect. And then just to attach my bottom strand now. So jump ring through the holes in the culotte, attaching through the loop on the magnetic clasp, and a little twist. So I'm using my dominant hand to twist open and close the jump ring. Just taking my 2 pairs of pliers to give myself a little bit of purchase, and then hooking that through, and then to close. And that is my Bonnie necklace in this beautiful green colourway completed. You're all talking about lovely beads. Natalie, you and Frank are welcome to come to the Atlanta and do a live stream show if you'd like a nice vacation. Sold. I would absolutely. Let me bring myself up, and I will pop my necklace on so you can see how it looks. Really sliding that clasp in to its tube. So if you want to, I tend to slide my necklace to the front. Apologise for all my chins. And then just slide it in. You can't see that gorgeous green flower on this black top too well in this light, but it's there and it's gorgeous and it sits beautifully. They're their perfect length. I love the fact that this is just staggered. I think it becomes really elegant. I'll try and pop I wonder if the amber one or the pink one would show. I don't think the blue one would as much on camera. No, it's disappearing. Let's go for, yeah, let's put the pink one on. So all to do to open it is just open up that magnetic clasp, slide the tube into the magnetic clasp. There you go, that stands out a little better, doesn't it? So I've got this beautiful layered look with my gorgeous clover. These are the bunny, well, I call it a clover, it's an 8-petal flower. It's not a clover at all, but the green one gives me kind of shamrock vibes. So this is the bunny necklace from totallybeads.co.uk. You can get it in amber, the cyan, which is a beautiful blue colour, the green one I've just demonstrated, and this pink one I'm wearing now. They are £7.99 or 2 for £13. If you're watching from wherever you are in the world, and we seem to have a few people in from all over the place today, you can most definitely get them shipped to where you are, and you can change your currency online as well. So there are gorgeous necklaces today. Thank you so much. Beautiful. Thank you, Natty. Oh, it's Rachel. Hello. It just says Furnessbourne, so hello. Well, I mean, you always say where you're from, but there you go. Oh, thank you. Anastasia says, Natalie, that's so beautiful, especially on that kind of shirt. I just think it looks very elegant. You could wear this with like a summery maxi dress. You can wear it with a high neck like I'm doing. You could wear it with a t-shirt. It goes with absolutely everything. And it says, do you do coloured tiger tail? We absolutely do. I always use the kind of grey silver colour because it shows up on camera and you can't see the tiger tail anyway in my make, so it doesn't really matter. But we do coloured tiger tail. We've got a nice gold coloured one, which really, if I'm using gold findings, I should probably put with the gold. We do a variety of colours. Yeah, Heather, check out the website, it's definitely there. Just Me says, very lovely necklace. Thank you, Natalie. Best wishes to Frank and feel well soon. I will definitely pass them on. As I said to you earlier in the week, you know he's not well because he's always daft to be on the live, isn't he? And he's not here. Before you go, I'm gonna give you a sneaky peek of our beautiful bracelets that I'm doing with you next week. I absolutely adore these. I think they couldn't be any more simple to make. They really, really couldn't. However, I think they look manufactured. I don't think they look handmade. They are handmade, but I'm going to be using these amazing little tubes. Let's see, will I be able to get them all in shot? So I'm using these lovely diamantes, these gorgeous glass beads, and I'm creating these absolutely beautiful bracelets. I adore them. They, as I say, they are probably the simplest things to make, but look at them. Look at them. So they're bracelets that look like bangles. So I'm very excited to do these with you next week, if you can come and join me. Joanne says, looks perfect on your top. It's gorgeous. I can see a few Christmas prezzies being made from this one. Thank you. I'm so glad you like them. I hope you enjoy making them. If you've got any questions, do drop me a comment and I will do my very best to answer. So if you can come and join me next week, I'm going to be making those gorgeous bracelets with you. I'm going to be making some lovely earrings as well, nice little technique with them. And I look forward to seeing you then. Sheila says, oh, they look lovely. They do, don't they? Honestly, super simple, super gorgeous. So I hope you all have the rest of your week as a really positive one. Heather says, was having a look at them. They look gorgeous. You can probably have a sneaky, well, it's scheduled, so you might be able to get them early. But it's been lovely to have you with me today. I'm going to be back with you next week. I hope you have a really lovely, lovely weekend and the rest of your week. Stay happy, stay making, and